Meanwhile, many of the candidates hoping to replace Biden in the White House are weighing in and often fighting with each other over the best way to help Israel. Several Republican candidates harshly criticized Vivek Ramaswamy after he accused Republicans of having, quote, selective moral outrage over the attacks and accused his opponents of profiting off the Middle East war. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum accused him of using the oldest, most offensive anti-Semitic tropes possible. Ambassador Nikki Haley accused Ramaswamy of being a dilettante when it comes to foreign policy. Well, I spoke with Vivek Ramaswamy just a few moments ago and gave him a chance to respond. Vivek Ramaswamy, welcome back to the show. You've taken a lot of fire in the last few days after you said the Republican response to Hamas's attack on Israel was, quote, selective moral outrage. You say your words were taken out of context. Why don't you clear it up? What exactly did you mean?
What's happening in Azerbaijan and Armenia, and I did an earlier interview on this as well, has been ignored, and I think that's an atrocity. That does not take away from how bad what happened to Israel really is. On the day that it happened, I said that this is atrocious, it is barbaric, it is medieval. And Israel absolutely has the right, and I would say responsibility, to defend itself and its right to exist. I think the U.S. should also support Israel. That's critically important, but within the constraint that we do not want to see a broader regional war in the Middle East. That hasn't been good for the U.S. in the past. I don't think it'll be good for the U.S. here. And I do think it's important to be able to accomplish both of those objectives at once. I think that's possible to achieve, but it's going to take cool-headedness and rationality, not just emotional knee-jerk responses. I think we've been at our worst when it comes to our foreign policy in the wake of crises with emotional responses.
Is that what you think is happening here? Is there an emotional knee-jerk response on the part of Israel or the U.S. right now?
I see some risk of that, particularly even in the neocon wing of the Republican Party. I look at Lindsey Graham, some of the commentary that's outright hawkish on Iran, repeatedly in multiple interviews, exhibiting a willingness to say that we might bomb or attack Iran even before we have all of the facts of exactly what a given country's involvement was or wasn't in these particular set of attacks. Nikki Haley screeching, finish them, finish them. It's a line from Mortal Kombat. Mike Pence saying, just do it, being vague about doing exactly what. So I don't think those kinds of histrionics are helpful. I do think what would be more helpful, and what I'm trying to lead the way with here, is a cool-headed response to say that we're going to support Israel's right to defend itself.
Former President Trump said that Hezbollah was, quote, smart, while criticizing Prime Minister Netanyahu. You said that that makes a lot of sense. Why do you think it's a good idea to compliment the leaders of a terrorist group right now?
Well, I don't necessarily think it's a good idea or a bad idea to compliment a particular group abroad. What I do think is important is what the part I was referring to was in that same speech, President Trump talked about his experiences in taking out Soleimani, sharing details with the public that, at least as far as I know, weren't previously shared. I think more information is good.
Don't you think supporting Israel and supporting the strongest democracy in the Middle East is also contributing to our security here? The United States security?
Yes, I have said that. I've said that consistently. Okay. We should absolutely support Israel's right to defend itself, but I do not want to see us get into a broader, escalated regional conflict in the Middle East. And I do believe we can do both of those things at once, but that is going to take measured leadership, not emotional histrionics. We do support Israel. Israel needs to define its objectives before we know what that support even entails. But I do think it's going to take somebody who gets to the facts rather than just the emotional hysteria that we're seeing from some of the other candidates.
The hysteria, as you call it, has certainly been alive and flourishing on many college campuses across the country, including both of your alma maters, Harvard and Yale. More CEOs came out today saying they want the names of students who signed a petition blaming Israel for Hamas's attack on the Israelis so that they can be sure never to hire them. What do you make of all this?
Yeah. So I'll tell you what I make of it. I think those student groups at Harvard, my alma mater, I'm ashamed of them. They're deeply misguided. I don't think it's a good thing for our culture when businesses say they're going to create blacklists to try to figure out which students were members of groups that happen to have signed on to statements that many members of those student groups may not have even known about. That's not the direction we want to go. The answer to bad speech is not less speech, it is more speech. So yes, I forcefully condemn Harvard and those Harvard student groups. but I don't think it's a step in the right direction, or I don't think it's productive when you have businesses trying to interrogate which students were even members or affiliated with the group that made that statement.
Well, it is.
I don't think that's going to help the underlying problem.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.